Pleased to have had the opportunity to work with, and a person who I'm proud to call a friend, as many of you have had the same opportunity. At UMass Dartmouth, the first day of class is always punctuated by people not being able to find the right classroom, so I'm happy that all of you folks found your way here today, and I suspect there'll probably be a few others, and I'm pleased too that we had an overflow crowd, and I think they're still bringing in seats. Pete was an outstanding individual, but I don't need to tell you that because you knew how outstanding an individual he was. Pete was meticulous in everything that he did. A number of years ago, the university, in one of its many experiments in education, decided that instead of having people teach single courses, that they would have multiple people teach the same course. So I got to be a team teacher, and I was teamed with Pete Rizzi. Well, thankfully for me, Pete ran the first class. Now this was a course in basic circuits that nobody wanted to teach, least of all Pete. I mean, his courses were all at the graduate level, and it was really humbling, I think, or I thought it would be, for him to be teaching at the freshman level. But I can tell you, I was so impressed with that first class, and I said, oh boy, I better go home and make doggone sure that I am well prepared for this next one. I learned a lot during that class, not so much about circuits, but on how to treat people and how to go about teaching. I remember one particular day, Pete had asked the class a question, and a couple of hands went up, and Pete pointed to one, and the answer that he came back was the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And I said, how is Pete going to deal with that? And he said, you know, that's a very good answer, but not to this question. That's the kind of guy that Peter was. Peter always had a smile. I grew up in a very proper British kind of household where men didn't cry and they didn't laugh. Peter laughed. When something was funny, Peter would laugh, and Peter invariably had a smile on his face. He was absolutely a joy to work with. I was on the committee that hired Peter back in 1970, and I'm the guy that ran his going away party, if you recall, in 1995. 25 years that he spent was by my standards, that's a youngster. I've been here 58 years, but I watched all these buildings go up. But during the time that Pete was here, it was a very interesting era. We watched so many changes and developments, not only in the university, but in the philosophy of education. People here meant a lot to Peter, and he meant a lot to his students. I don't think there's a single faculty member who had students who were as close to them as Peter's students were to him. Nor do I think there is any faculty member whose students went on to be as successful, particularly as entrepreneurs, as Peter's students did. I'm sure that Peter didn't teach entrepreneurism, but he gave students the background that they needed to succeed not only in their field, but in working with others and in business. And I'm sure, too, that his family life had to be something of the same. I would love to have known Peter as a child. Now, didn't have that privilege, unfortunately. But I can tell you that Peter was very proud of his family. He was proud of his 2 boys, and we heard it. And he was proud of his 2 girls, and we heard that too. And we're going to hear from them in just a moment as they hopefully give us some remembrances of their father and our friend Peter. You girls ready? Let's do it.